Urgent. $1 million alert. The U.S. Mint released Jefferson nickels that just sold for $998,550, and your couch cushions, change jars, and car consoles are hiding these exact coins right now before they vanish forever tonight. Check every nickel in your house immediately, because the government is actively removing these from circulation and your last chance disappears by morning. We begin our countdown with coin number 3, the 1995 P. Jefferson nickel from the Philadelphia Mint. And if you think pocket change is worthless, this single coin will destroy that belief forever, because this seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece has commanded a staggering $489,640 at verified auction, making it one of the most devastating discoveries in modern numismatic history. The 1995 P. Jefferson nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of massive production runs that exceeded 1 billion pieces. Yet within that ocean of common coins, a microscopic subset emerged with a doubling error so severe that it transforms an everyday nickel into a $500,000 treasure. The first documented discovery of this variety occurred in 1997 when a Virginia collector named Harold Jennings spotted something peculiar about the word liberty on the obverse while sorting through a coffee can of nickels in his Roanoke basement, initially dismissing it as wear damage until his local dealer insisted on sending it to PCGS for authentication, where it emerged as the first certified 1995 P double die obverse in mint state 65 condition, instantly creating a new variety category that had previously gone unrecognized by the major grading services. The technical explanation behind this error involves a Class 1 rotated hub doubling that occurred during the die preparation phase at the Philadelphia Mint, where the working die received a second impression from the hub that was slightly misaligned, creating dramatic doubling on the date, Liberty, and I in God We Trust that is visible to the naked eye under proper lighting conditions, with the most pronounced spread appearing on the 9 and 5 of the date, where secondary images appear approximately 1 millimeter offset from the primary devices, a diagnostic feature that separates genuine errors from the countless machine damage counterfeits flooding the market. To identify this coin in your collection, first examine the obverse under a 10x loupe, with direct incandescent lighting angled at 45 degrees, looking specifically for clear separation in the date digits where a shadow image appears to the southeast of each number. Then check Liberty for distinct doubling on the upper serifs of the L and B, followed by examination of I in God We Trust where the doubling manifests most prominently on the R and U. Then inspect Jefferson's profile for any secondary outline along the cheek and nose. Verify that the mint mark P shows no doubling since this is an obverse die error only. And finally confirm that the reverse Monticello design remains crisp and unaffected since the doubling is confined to the obverse working die. The grading impact on this variety is absolutely catastrophic to values, with PCGS mint state 60 examples bringing $42,000, MS63 pieces realizing $187,000. MS65 specimens commanding the full $489,640. MS66 examples having sold for $612,000 in private transactions, and even circulated 58 Australian dollars examples achieving $28,000 at heritage auctions in 2019. The PCGS population report shows only 17 examples certified across all grades with a mere 3 pieces at the MS65 level and none higher, while NGC has certified only 9 specimens with 2 at MS65, creating a combined population of 26 coins that makes this one of the rarest modern Jefferson nickel varieties in existence. Discovery anecdotes include the 2003 find by a Michigan grandmother who located one in her late husband's tobacco tin in Grand Rapids, initially spending it at a gas station before the clerk noticed the doubling and returned it. The 2011 discovery by an Ohio construction worker who found one in his work boot change after 3 months of carrying it unknowingly. And the 2017 identification by a Florida retiree who spotted the doubling while using a magnifying glass to examine coins from a bank wrapped roll in Sarasota. Collector competition has reached fever pitch with registry set builders at PCGS paying premiums of 30 to 40% above auction prices to secure examples for their Jefferson nickel specialty sets, while major dealers, including Stack's Bowers and Legend Numismatics, maintain standing offers of $500,000 for any MS65 or better specimen with original mint luster. Market dynamics show supply exhaustion of 94% since 2015, with only 2 fresh discoveries reported in the last 8 years, while demand has increased 320% according to PCGS set registry participation data, creating a supply-demand imbalance that has driven prices up 180% since 2018 alone. Government response has been predictably silent, with the U.S. Mint refusing to release die production records from 1995 despite multiple Freedom of Information Act requests from the combined organizations of numismatic error collectors. While anonymous testimony from a retired Philadelphia Mint die technician suggests that as many as 4 double dies may have been produced, but only 1 was actually deployed in production, with the remaining 3 allegedly destroyed during routine die retirement. Procedures. Authentication warnings are absolutely critical because Chinese counterfeits with artificial doubling created through mechanical abrasion have flooded eBay and flea markets, making professional grading through PCGS or NGC absolutely mandatory before any purchase or sale, with raw, unauthenticated specimens essentially worthless in the current market. Stop what you are doing right now and check every 1995 nickel in your possession. Examine the date under magnification with proper lighting. Compare your findings to verified images on PCGS Coinfax, and submit any suspect pieces to PCGS or NGC immediately, because the authentication window is closing as counterfeit technology improves. These coins are vanishing daily into private collections and vaults, with extinction-level scarcity approaching within the next decade as the remaining examples disappear from circulation forever. We now reach coin number 2 in our devastating countdown. And if you thought the 1995 P. Jefferson nickel, with its staggering $489,640 peak, was the end of the story, you are gravely mistaken, because the 1984 P. Jefferson nickel from the Philadelphia Mint will erase every doubt about what is hiding in your change jar. We now reach coin number 2 in our devastating countdown. And if you thought the 1995 P. Jefferson nickel, with its staggering $489,640 peak, was the end of the story, you are gravely mistaken, because the 1984 P. Jefferson nickel from the Philadelphia Mint will erase every doubt about what is hiding in your change jar, as this single coin has hammered at $763,000 at a Stack's Bowers auction in 2021, establishing it as the second most valuable Jefferson nickel in American numismatic history, and exposing what many collectors believe is the most significant government cover-up in modern minting history. The 1984 P. Jefferson nickel was produced during a transitional period at the Philadelphia Mint when the facility was implementing new die steel compositions and modified hubbing procedures designed to extend die life. Yet within this technical overhaul, a catastrophic minting error emerged that the U.S. Treasury Department and mint officials allegedly attempted to suppress through coordinated destruction of documentation and refusal to acknowledge the variety's existence for nearly 2 decades. After its initial discovery, the error originated when a single obverse working die received a misaligned secondary hub impression during the die preparation process, creating a dramatic Class 6 double die obverse that shows extreme spread across the entire obverse design, with the doubling most visible on the date digits, the word Liberty, and Jefferson's portrait, where secondary images appear shifted approximately 1.5 millimeters to the southeast, creating a ghost-like shadow effect that is unmistakable, under magnification, and virtually impossible to replicate through post-mint damage. The cover-up allegations intensified when a 2006 Freedom of Information Act request for 1984 die production logs was denied by the Treasury Department, citing national security concerns related to minting processes, a justification that numismatic researchers found absurd. while anonymous testimony from a retired Philadelphia Mint supervisor named only as James K. claimed that Mint officials discovered the error within weeks of production, but chose not to recall circulating coins because the estimated replacement cost of $12 million exceeded the political will to act, effectively allowing thousands of error specimens to enter circulation undetected. The technical identification of this variety requires examination under 10x to 15x magnification with a strong light source, beginning with the date where the 8 and 4 show dramatic separation with a clear secondary image visible to the naked eye in high-grade specimens, followed by inspection of Liberty, where the letters appear to have a bold shadow outline, particularly on the upper portions. Then examination of I in God We Trust, where the doubling creates a stacked appearance on the R and S. Verification that the mint mark P remains singular and undoubled, confirming this as an obverse die error. Inspection of Jefferson's eye and nose, where secondary outlines create a haunting double vision effect. And finally, confirmation that the reverse Monticello design shows no doubling whatsoever, since only the obverse die was affected. The grading differential on this variety is absolutely staggering, with PCGS 55 Australian dollars examples bringing $92,000, MS 60 specimens realizing $241,000, MS 63 pieces commanding $418,000, MS 64 examples selling for $567,000, and the single finest known MS 65 specimen that hammered at $763,000 at the Stack's Bowers Rarities Night Auction in November 2021 after a 14-minute bidding war between two anonymous phone bidders. The PCGS population report documents only 11 certified examples across all grades, with a solitary MS 65 specimen, while NGC has certified merely 6 pieces with none exceeding MS 64. Creating a combined population of 17 coins that represents one of the lowest survival rates of any modern double die variety. Discovery stories include the 1999 find by a Pennsylvania schoolteacher who located one in her classroom's penny jar in Scranton after a student pointed out the funny-looking date. The 2007 discovery by a Texas rancher who found one in his pickup truck's ashtray change in Amarillo, where it had sat for 15 years. And the 2015 identification by a retired postal worker in Portland, Oregon, who spotted the doubling while sorting through 3 decades of accumulated pocket change during a move to assisted living. Collector competition has reached institutional levels, with the Smithsonian Institution reportedly attempting to acquire an example for their National Numismatic Collection in 2019. While the top PCGS Jefferson nickel registry set currently requires this variety for completion, and the set's owner has publicly offered $800,000 for any MS65 or better specimen with flawless eye appeal. Market manipulation allegations have surfaced, with evidence suggesting that 2 major East Coast dealers have been systematically acquiring every raw example that surfaces at coin shows, suppressing auction appearances to maintain scarcity perception, while privately selling specimens to wealthy collectors at premiums exceeding 40% above published auction records, a strategy that has artificially constrained supply while driving prices up 210% since 2015. Government response remains obstructionist, with the U.S. Mint refusing to release 1984 die hubbing records and the Treasury Inspector General declining to investigate allegations of intentional concealment. While congressional inquiries by the House Financial Services Committee in 2018 were quietly dropped after Treasury Secretary testimony that was later revealed to contain factual inaccuracies about die inspection protocols. Authentication is absolutely non-negotiable because sophisticated Chinese counterfeits with laser-etched artificial doubling have entered the market, making PCGS or NGC certification mandatory for any transaction above $5,000, with raw specimens considered suspect until professionally authenticated. Stop searching immediately and check every 1984 nickel you own. Examine the date with a magnifying glass under direct light. Compare your coin to certified images on NGC Coin Explorer and submit any suspect piece to PCGS or NGC without delay because professional counterfeiters are improving their techniques monthly. These coins are disappearing into permanent collections at a rate of 2 to 3 per year, with total extinction from the marketplace projected within 15 years. We have reached the pinnacle of our countdown. Coin number 1. The most valuable Jefferson nickel in American history. The 1970 Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint. And if the 1984 Jefferson nickel, with its earth-shattering $763,000 peak, did not make you check every coin in your home immediately, then this 1970 specimen, with its $998,550 verified sale, will force you to empty every jar, drawer, and pocket in your house tonight. We have reached the pinnacle of our countdown. Coin number 1. The most valuable Jefferson nickel in American history. The 1970 Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint. And if the 1984 Jefferson nickel, with its earth-shattering $763,000 peak, did not make you check every coin in your home immediately, then this 1970 specimen, with its $998,550 verified sale, will force you to empty every jar, drawer, and pocket in your house tonight because no modern 5-cent piece has ever commanded a higher price at public auction, and the collector competition surrounding this variety has reached levels that rival the most famous rare coins in American history. The 1970 Jefferson nickel was struck at the Denver Mint during a year when production totals exceeded 270 million pieces, yet within that massive mintage, a microscopic number of coins emerged from a single catastrophic die pair that created a double die obverse so dramatic that it redefined what collectors believed possible in modern nickels, with the error first entering the numismatic consciousness in 1971 when a Colorado teenager named Michael Torres brought a strange-looking nickel to a Denver coin shop, where the dealer initially laughed at the boy before examining it under magnification and nearly dropping the loop in shock at the extreme doubling visible across the entire obverse. The technical genesis of this error occurred during the Denver Mint's die hubbing process when a working die received a severely misaligned second impression from the master hub, creating a Class 1 rotated double die obverse with spread so dramatic that secondary images appear approximately 2 millimeters from the primary devices, making this variety identifiable without magnification in high-grade examples and creating a visual effect that collectors describe as looking at the coin through a kaleidoscope. The specific diagnostics require examination under 10x to 20x magnification with bright incandescent lighting, beginning with the date 1970, where the 7 and 0 show extreme doubling, with clear separation visible to the naked eye in specimens above $50, followed by inspection of Liberty, where every letter displays dramatic spread with the B and are showing the most pronounced secondary images. Then examination of I In God We Trust, where the words appear to have a bold shadow duplicate running parallel to the primary lettering. Verification that the D Mint mark remains normal and undoubled, confirming this as an obverse-only error. Inspection of Jefferson's entire portrait, where secondary outlines create a ghostly double image, particularly along the cheekbone and hairline. And finally, confirmation that the reverse shows no doubling, with Monticello appearing crisp and singular since the error was confined to a single obverse working die. The value progression across grades is absolutely astronomical, with PCGS VF35 examples bringing $47,000. 50 Australian dollars specimens realizing $112,000, MS60 pieces commanding $289,000, MS63 examples selling for $541,000, MS64 specimens bringing $786,000, and the single finest known MS65 example that realized $998,550 at Heritage Auctions in January 2023 after a 22-minute bidding war between 3 phone bidders and 1 floor bidder that required the auctioneer to call for order 3 times. The PCGS population report shows only 9 certified examples across all grades with a single MS65 specimen, while NGC has certified only 4 pieces with none exceeding MS63, creating a combined population of 13 coins that makes this the rarest certified modern Jefferson nickel variety in existence and possibly the lowest population major double die of the entire post-1965 era. Discovery anecdotes include the legendary 1971 find by Michael Torres in Denver, who sold his coin for $300 to fund his college education, a decision that cost him approximately $998,000 in current value. The 1985 discovery by an Arizona retiree who found one in a jar of nickels in his Phoenix garage that had been untouched since his Army service in Vietnam, and the 2019 identification by a Kansas farmer who spotted the doubling while counting out change for cattle feed in Wichita, initially believing his eyes were failing until his grandson confirmed the dramatic spread with a smartphone magnifier app. Collector competition has reached absolutely legendary proportions, with the top PCGS Jefferson nickel registry set requiring this coin for completion, and the current registry holder having reportedly turned down a private offer of $1.2 million for his MS65 specimen in 2024, while major auction houses including Heritage, Stack's Bowers, and GreatCollections maintain permanent want lists with standing offers of $1 million for any newly discovered MS65 or better example, with original mint luster and no environmental damage. Market dynamics show that no fresh examples have entered the market since 2019, creating a supply drought that has driven prices up 340% since 2015. While the number of serious Jefferson nickel registry competitors has increased from 12 to 47 in the same period, creating demand pressure that has no relief valve since the total known population is fixed and permanently diminishing as pieces enter museum and institutional collections. Government response has been characteristically evasive, with the Denver Mint destroying all 1970 die production records during a 1985 facility renovation, a convenient coincidence that numismatic researchers find highly suspicious, while FOIA requests for surviving documentation have been denied or met with claims that no records exist, despite testimony from retired Denver Mint employees that detailed dialogues were maintained through at least 1980. Authentication warnings are paramount because this variety commands such extreme prices that criminal counterfeiting operations have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in creating die-struck fakes with artificial doubling, making PCGS or NGC certification absolutely mandatory and independent expert examination advisable even for certified pieces given the sophistication of modern forgeries. Stop everything you are doing and check every 1970 nickel in your home immediately. Examine each one under magnification with bright light. Compare carefully to verified images from Heritage Auctions archives, and submit any suspect piece to PCGS or NGC for emergency authentication, because your financial future could be sitting in your pocket right now. These coins are approaching extinction-level scarcity, with the finest known example likely permanently off the market, meaning your discovery tonight could be the last great find in American numismatic history.